Okay. What's up, everybody? Let me make sure I'm in frame. Make sure you see the lights. You can't see the lights. It's been a while since I live stream. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me make sure I get that light. Boom. All right. What do I need to do? I need to go this way. All right, whatever. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Happy New Year. So, what are we doing today? I said to myself, let me jump on and do this live stream so I can get back to being consistent with these live streams. And I just like them, you know? I just like sharing information, sharing things that I've learned. Excuse me. And, you know, like elevating, you know, and I hope that's the goal for everyone that watches this as well. So it's 2026. If you have been slacking last year, if you wanted to do something like video related, audio related, it's 2026. So therefore, it's time to get in the mix. In 2026, let's get in the mix. Let's do what we said we were going to do last year. And let's just get active, you know, legally. Don't take that and misquote that and try to do something illegally. You know, just had to say that. Anyways, this is about looking at churches live streaming, or a different church's live stream. I've been doing a lot of audio on this channel. I'm not an audio guy though. I'm more so a video guy. Video is what I like. The video is my passion. Video is, you know, how I make a lot of money, you know. I make funds from my professional career. Yes, there's lighting, there is live streaming in that, but video is the main thing that I do, as well as a little bit of IT, but I'm phasing that out. So what we're going to do today, we're going to look at a bunch of live streams from churches, and then we are going to see if they're good, and see if they're bad. So I'm going to be looking at lighting. I'm going to be looking at the video quality. Yeah, I'm not going to focus too much about sound because I'm not a sound guy, so I can't give you a whole lot of pointers about sound that much. But I can give you some pointers about video from my career and what I've learned along the way dealing with different churches and etc. All right. So here we go. So what we're going to start with is some of the churches that are doing it right. Some of the churches that are doing it right. So this is a first church. This is Change Church. And they seem to be doing it right. So we're going to take a look at it, go through it, and try to break this down, Try to break this down.
Thank you.
Wow. Let's refresh. Oh, all right. What that was a live stream that I just pulled up. So it seems like when they do a live stream, they pull it down. All right, so let's find something else from Change Church. And I will be fast forwarding. Wow, they just do live streams and that's it. They remove it completely. Probably put it as private. That sucks.
I got this old thing and the bill from the store.
They do a lot of music, so I don't really. I don't really want to get copyright. I don't really want a copyright strike. So let's take a look at this. Technically, I don't know if this is live stream. It could have been live streamed and then they pulled it. Yeah, this is all going to be muted. This is all going to be muted. It's kind of dark. I ain't gonna lie. Is this all music? It looks good though. It looks good. Some of the cameras they're using, it looks a little bit like Black Magic, maybe. The lighting is good. They have massive LED walls. So this is a big budget shot. I mean, a big budget church. The crowd shots are they are pretty good. Not pretty good. They are good. See, they have enough lighting in the crowd and etc. You can see people's features and details. So it's good. They're interacting with the musicians and etc. So they're using like handheld, getting shots at the musicians and whatnot. These are good shots. This is all music, bro. Okay. We got some panning action. This looks good. This looks good. I mean, some of the blacks, but this is just me being extra. Like, if you look in the crowd and if you look at some of the blacks, like if you look at this person's hair right here, like it's gone. There's no there's no detail whatsoever. What is this? Is this 4K or 1080? It's 4K. Okay. Yeah, the blacks are crushed. What? The blacks are crushed. So this is kind of, yeah, like, oh, like this right here. As you see, his shirt blends in with the background. There's no separation whatsoever. I mean, stuff like that you can't really control. It just depends on what encoder you're using. If it's compressing too much, and then, you know, when you go up to YouTube, it's going to compress even more. So it's kind of difficult to manage. But if you have a pretty good camera and a pretty and a lot of good lighting, that's forgivable. Because if you look in the crowd right now, it's only who the harsh light shines on. You can see that there's actually a crowd, but if this was all black, you couldn't see anything. That's me nitpicking, but who pays attention to that, really? You know, sometimes like, oh yeah. Now you really see it now. You really see it, especially in that drum cage. So this camera that they're using here doesn't have a lot of dynamic range. If it does have a lot of dynamic range, the compression is insane. But I'm thinking that this camera doesn't have crazy dynamic range. This is looking more like a DSLR, or I don't want to play Blackmagic, but Blackmagic doesn't hold up well in the shadows. But overall, this looks good. Like this crowd, lovely. Look at the skin tones. So the thing about people with our skin tones, when it comes to live streams and etc., you got to get the white balance correct. You got to get the right white balance, because if you try to do the white balance for a light skinned person, or even a white person, it's going to make us look washed out. We look better with warmer lights. So your white balance have to be right in order to bring out our skin tones. This crowd shot, I know it's like stopped right here and it's not that great. It's kind of blurry, which is nice. But they look good. They look nice and copper. So it's telling me some sort of LUT is used, probably a creative LUT. Let's see, this is shot at 24 frames a second. Okay, so that's why you got the natural blur. Okay, cool. That blur looks nice. Hey, look at his skin tone. I don't know if I can get it. His skin tone is nice. I'm sorry, bro. I don't need to be like zooming in on your forehead or anything like that. I'm just showing people your skin tone. Like his skin tone, this guy's skin tone, her skin tone. You see, they don't look artificial, or they don't look too bronzy. This looks good. This looks good. With the right lighting, etc. This looks good. So this church is doing it right. Okay, look at that camera. Yes, sir. This is what we're here for. That looks like a B4 lens. So this might be a Ursa. This camera has to be heavy. That's why he's using an Easy Rig. This camera is heavy. That's a B4 lens mount. Well, that's what it looks like. I think they're using Blackmagics. I think they're using Blackmagics. Good camera angles, good camera shots. I love that they're on the stage to get that perspective so you can look into the crowd to see, you know. But this is more so giving me music video vibes, not really. I'm there in person. Nice. Okay. Yeah, it's pitch black down there, bro. Nice. Hey. All right, let's see. Anything more? This is all music, bro. I can't unmute any of this. And we got that commercial. Skip. All music. All music. Woo! I like that shot. I like this perspective right here. That's a good angle. See that? You're using the keyboard and etc. And the only thing I would okay, let me explain the shot. So this is showing depth. So something in front of something. That's basically what it is. It's just showing depth. It's showing how it's a very creative shot, and I like it. Be creative, 100%. Be creative. You have something at the top, you have something at the bottom, and it's focused in the middle, so your eyes are automatically going to the middle of the shot. Dang. You all right? I don't know what that was. Yeah, right here. All right, so the only thing I would have liked is if this guy right here was blurred as well. If he was blurred, it would have been oh so much better. But I don't know if the cam op can do that with these lenses. I'm not sure. But other than this is a good shot. It's a good shot. It's a great shot. Things like this gets me excited. Yes, yeah. All right. So this is the type of live streaming I like, the cinematic live streaming instead of a more traditional broadcast live streaming. I'm not interested in that. Gosh, look at her skin tone. Now she's light skin, and you see in this, because if we look at someone dark as well, him. Who's this guy? He looks familiar. Looks very familiar. His skin tone looks normal, and her skin tone looks normal as well. See that? See that? It's not, and his skin tone is normal as well. It's not blown out, like where the light is hitting. Where the light is hitting right here is not blown out, or up here, which is good. That's good lighting. That is good lighting. For him as well, the light is hitting him, like it's soft. It's soft lighting. And you can see it's kind of harsh or hard lighting because you can see the reflection on his glass, but no one is paying attention to that. But when it's hitting his skin, soft. Good lighting. Good lighting. Yes, sir. See that? Now this is a good shot. Good shot. Now you can see the effects of good lighting. You see his skin tone and her skin tone. Because most of the time, if you, I've been to a place that if you light it well for someone of a darker skin tone, the person with a lighter skin tone tends to be blown out. So this is like the perfect balance, and you have the right settings on the camera as well. This church is doing it well. Though probably the only thing they would need to do is upgrade the cameras and get like better lenses or cinema lenses with faster T-stops. And they solid. All right, good. Just in time to skip that commercial. All right, this is another church.
14, so that you can see.
This was live, as you see, but a lot of these churches are removing the live as soon as it's finished. Wow.
The $5.
All right, let's mute it because I don't know if there is music showing. Okay. All right. So it's just speaking so we can unmute it.
I'm about to preach this declaration to you. Make this prophetic declaration to you now. We usually give now for 2 months. Off the bones, it's just bones left and the bones.
I like the graphics. The graphics are nice. It's kind of too square though. Sharp edges. I don't know. After seeing like graphics from Transformation Church and like Bethel and etc., different churches, I've seen better, and I'm doing everything in my power to get them better as well. I don't want any more flat lower thirds. I'm going for 3D lower thirds with animations and all of that. Yeah, I'm going for all of that. This looks good. The camera, as you see, the background is completely gone. So it's a camera with not that much dynamic range, or the compression is OD. So I would like to know what encoder these churches are using to like destroy the background, or maybe they just need to put more lights in the background. But this church looks good. It's more cinematic.
I will put my spirit in you and you will live. Say, I shall live. I will place you in your own.
Oh, you hear them crowd mics? I can hear the crowd. I can hear the crowd.
Live. Say, I shall live. I will place you in your own.
I need to get there. I need to get to that level where you can hear the crowd like audibly. I need to get that to that level.
Land. Oh my God. Your own land. Literal land.
They're panned as well.
Vocational land. Financial land. Relationship land. Family that happened then that are unlikely to happen now, because this is not an actual literal valley of dry bones. Ezekiel is given a vision to show that these dry bones represent the state of the people of God.
Now, it might look crazy online because of the YouTube compression, but this is pretty clear. This is pretty clear on my screen.
And after a very long year,
they are
and the one before, and the one before, and for some of us, stuff been off since 2020.
1080p.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1080p.
Yes, Lord. We're allowed to be honest. God meets us there. And y'all know I'm a fan. Healing chemicals into the body. Buried him. And the rating band marriage actually didn't make it. I believe I was called to. And
there's not too much to say about this church. It looks good. It looks good. It looks good. It's nothing that I would like do backflips over, because I mean, The only thing they can do probably is get more lights and probably better lenses. I don't know what camera they're using. It looks Blackmagic-ish or DSLR. It doesn't look, well, DSLR, mirrorless. It doesn't look mirrorless because it doesn't look overly sharp. It could be lenses as well. I don't know, but overall, it's good. These churches are doing it right.
When you get into the place
They're on the right trajectory.
where you're like everything
All right, next church. All right, so this is Bethel, bro. This is Bethel, folks. This is the church that I'm aspiring to reach to.
And that's out of Aunt Gianna and Toby.
There you go.
Not from The Office, a different Toby.
Stop.
This isn't a pre-recording, folks. This is live.
Best life on here.
But if you have any prayer requests, we just
And this is going through YouTube's compression, and it still looks like this.
off of Randy Clark. We want to. I mean, we always go after healing, but we want to go after healing,
Yeah, we wanna pray for
especially
you.
today, and just see God.
Will do it again, God. That the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy, which means what God's done once, he's willing and able to do again. And so we just declare, as we read out, Abigail was
The lighting is so soft. The lighting is so soft. It just wraps around. These guys that are responsible for, like, the production team, these guys are not amateurs whatsoever. It looks like it's a big light source and it's just wrapping around. And they have like a spotlight at the back that's just slashing that streak of light at the on the wall. I don't know what this is at the back. Is it a wallpaper? Is it like a paper sheet for photography or something? I don't know what this is. But it's nice. It's just the light hitting them, bro. It's just super soft.
asking for prayer for her whole family that have the flu right now. There's also
Right,
someone
so
asking
that's-
for their mother who had
Nope. We gonna mute that. Good graphics, obviously. Like, these guys are like the pioneers of cinematic live streaming or cinematic broadcasting. These guys are the pioneers. These guys were like the first people to do it. So you can't expect nothing less from these guys. Great graphics. Great graphics. It has a lot of texture in the images. This is their countdown. It's nice. I mean, it's good. I'm gonna fast forward this because the music, Bethel is, they are so aggressive when it comes to copywriting their music. So we're gonna keep this part on mute. This is live stream, folks. Live stream. They live stream this. This is what it looks like every Sunday. Now you see what I'm saying? Like with the previous video, you see how when you looked in the crowd, how all of the darks were crushed. Like, people were blending into the shadows. You see, it's very different here. Very different here. You can still separate people from the darkness. So lighting is important. Lighting is very important. And they don't only have white people, they also have black people. And as you see, both of their skin tones look normal. Both of the, look at him. He is not blending into the background. See? Look at the wall. The wall is black. And he's in all black as well. And he has a much darker skin tone, and you can still separate him from the background. That's good lighting and good cameras as well. So the cameras they're using are the Red Komodos. It's not unattainable. It's not far-fetched. Like the Komodos are not far-fetched. The Komodos are $3,000 a piece. The Sony FX3 is more money than the Red Komodo. Crazy work. I know when you build it out and etc. It can't. Not really, because you can get a screen and then you can get a lens, and obviously you would have to get a Teradek, but the Teradek you would have to get with any other camera as well. So if you get rid of the Teradek and just get the camera body, you get a lens, because the same lens you can use on any camera, and you get the monitor and a V-mount battery. It's not that expensive. It's not that expensive. Well, relative to your budget. But to get this quality, you don't have to spend $300,000, $200,000, not even $100,000 to get this type of quality. You don't have to spend that. I would love to know their encoder as well. Like their live streaming encoder, I'd love to know what they're using, because sending this to YouTube and YouTube is compressing it and it's still looking like this is nuts. How are they doing this? It is so clear. I know lighting is a huge part of how they get it looking like this. And also, yeah, the Komodos are beasts. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not biased towards the Komodos. Yeah, I do have Komodos. I do shoot with Red. Let me tell you this. If Blackmagic, like the Blackmagic Pixis, had a global shutter, it would be a game changer. Global shutters are a big deal for live streaming, because they help with moire. They help with light flashes. It's just better for live streaming. Of course, yeah, virtualization and all that stuff. Global shutter would be you have a bigger advantage with a global shutter using 3D and virtual effects and all that stuff. Yeah, but with live streaming, it plays a huge part as well. If the Pixis was a global shutter, but then again, if the Pixis was a global shutter, they would still have to work on their low light capabilities, because Blackmagics aren't great at all when it comes to low light. You have to have a lot of light. When it comes to those shadows, Blackmagic, they struggle. Yeah, bro, this look good. Let's move on. It's a little washed out, which is surprising. It's like too much light going into the lens. Causes it to look so washed out. This is their announcements. Super Source on the ATEM. It's me. Yeah. All right. Those are goals. All right. Another church.
And we've been telling the truth, hopefully. And the reality is, some people aren't walking away from God because they hate him. They're walking away because they were handed what life handed them. Could not be sustained by the faith they had developed. Some people walk away from God because when life gets heavy, their faith could not be.
All right. The graphics I don't like, but an easy way that you can improve the graphics is you can use Canva, and you can use Affinity. Affinity is free now since Canva purchased the Affinity, the company. Affinity. So you can get Affinity Design, you can get Affinity Photo, you can get the whole package for free. And you can do a whole bunch of graphics and etc. in Affinity, and as well as Canva. So you can do a whole lot of pre-work and bring it up on the live stream. Of course, you would have to have all that information beforehand, which you should if you are at a church and you don't know any of the information until 5 minutes before church starts. You need to have a meeting with staff because it doesn't make you look good at all. It doesn't make the church look good online. It makes you look like you're very last minute, you're unorganized, and that's no way for the house of God to present themselves. But this is pretty plain, but it's not like you can't read it. It's just a bit boring. But again, you can fix this with Affinity. Affinity is free. And you can get a whole bunch of different fonts and etc., like a whole bunch of Google fonts that are free as well.
Because when life gets heavy, their faith could not bear the weight of real life. So the first week, we admitted faith can question God without quitting God. Last week, we without transformation produces loveless religion that leads to hypocrisy. One more time for those of you watching online. Information without transformation leads to loveless religion that leads to hypocrisy.
Okay. There's nothing let's see some other stuff before I make some recommendations. Okay, I see the transitions. See the zooms. I personally don't like zooms. But that's me personally. It's a creative decision. I don't like zooms and too many pans and etc. But it seems like this church has a lot of PTZs. It seems like this church has like PTZs instead of floor cams. And I must say, if this person is doing all of these transitions with PTZs, this guy is skilled. Because PTZs aren't the easiest cameras to control. I personally don't like PTZs. The only PTZs I would approve are the Sony. Those Sony PTZs, it's basically FX3s as PTZs, and you can change the lenses. Those are insanely expensive though. It's just because of the quality. Most PTZs don't give you good quality at all. As you see, it's very washed out. The sensors in PTZs are almost like phones. I mean, they're a little bigger than phones, but they're not camera level. And you can't change the lenses or anything like that. Whatever you get with a PTZ, that's what you get. The most you can do with this look is possibly get more lights and use a LUT. Use a LUT. So whatever live stream software that you use, probably OBS, whatever you're using. Oh, there's a person right there. There's a person right here. Where's this shot? Because all these shots are from on the wall looking down. Where's his shot? This guy right here. Or is he just taking photos? Oh, that's what I was saying. In order to like make this a bit better with color, you would have to use like LUTs. So if you're using OBS or vMix, whatever, you would have to put a LUT inside of those in order to make these look a little bit more vibrant. There's not much you can do with PTZ, sadly. I don't like them. The skin tones aren't bad, but they aren't great. They're passable, but they aren't great. Yeah. And I'm not looking for any type of dynamic range because I know the limitations of PTZ, so it is what it is. But some things they can do. Get floor cameras. Get cameras that you use on the floor. Mirrorless cinema. Well, I'm not going to recommend any mirrorless cameras. So, because mirrorless cameras have their own issues, which I'm gonna show you. I'll show you some of the issues that mirrorless cameras have. I would guess cinema cameras, definitely cinema cameras. So if reds are too much, because reds are 3,000 a piece, and then you got to get all the other stuff that goes with it, and especially if you're starting out from scratch and you don't have any lenses whatsoever, that's going to be your biggest expense. Buying the lenses, buying the camera, buying the monitors, buying the Teradeks, all of that is going to add up very quickly. But I must say that this guy, whoever the person who's controlling the PTZ, he is doing the best he can, and he is killing it. Because this motion with PTZ is tough. He got panning, he's moving, he's doing everything with them PTZs, and that's dope. That's dope. But like I said, I don't like pans and zooms and etc. because it's kind of 90s, like mid to late 90s. This is the style that they did a lot. We have moved on from this. We have moved on from this. The thing about pans and zooms as well, it's okay. So here's my philosophy about worship and online live streaming. Online live streaming and camera work and the director, like the shots that you pick and etc. It's supposed to make the online viewer feel that they are in the sanctuary. I'm supposed to feel like I'm there. I don't want to feel like I'm watching. I'm just sitting home and watching, which I am, but I don't want to feel like that. So in order for you to make them feel like that, you have to have different shots. Shots have to be in the crowd, looking on stage. There's certain creative shots that you have to do to make the person feel that they are in the sanctuary. And you can only do that with handheld cameras, But shout outs to whoever the video director is. For sure. Next. All right, what is this? Okay, this is a school. This is Oakwood. Okay, so I'm not a graphic designer, and I have graphic designer friends. I am not going to comment on any of these flyers because if I say something looks okay, you got people like my wife and other friends that I know, they're going to be like, what do you mean that's okay? And so I keep quiet, I will be very cautious when it comes to critiquing flyers because I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know if something looks a bit too busy or if the fonts are like hard to read. That's about it. All that other stuff, I'm going to leave it to you graphic designers. That's a fact. This picture is nice though. I'm not saying anything. This picture is nice. I like these pictures, bro. There's a lot going on in this flyer. I don't know where my eyes are supposed to go. This is good. This is good. Well, it's good for me to read. It's good for me to read. All right, let's fast forward because we don't want to be here for.
So I'm detailing my daughter's new car right now, and I have a
need
little
YouTube
story
Premium.
time for y'all. If you're in need of some cheaper insurance,
Wow. Ooh. Watch that music. Watch that music. All right, this is their pre-show. This is Kurt Nugent. Shout out to Kurt Nugent. Huh. Okay. So, the light is a bit harsh. The light is a bit harsh. If you can get like a bigger diffuser to help soften that up. Oh, I can see it in his glasses as well. It's like two lights. They do have soft boxes on them. So I would just probably like put them up a little bit higher and angle them down and put a bigger diffusion on them so that this right here is a little softer, and it more like wraps around instead of just like bow right there and bow right there. It's also probably the cameras as well. The cameras lack dynamic range. Okay, these lower thirds, what are these called? I know they're lower thirds, but what are they called? They're not lyrics. What are they? They're name tags. What are they? They're just lower thirds. The lower thirds, they're better. They're 3D. They're not as boring, but I will leave that up to my graphic designer friends to tell you what's up with these. I'm not touching those whatsoever. That's not my area of expertise. See? It's a bit too harsh because right now her forehead is clipping. It's blown out. There's like no detail in some of these spots. And it's harsh on his nose as well. So. Oh, they're actually speaking.
To me, is basically what you read, the text you read, where Paul is saying how he operates with the idea of life and then the idea of death. Because you just read in that text, Philippians 1, 19 and 20, and Paul is just saying.
His voice is super deep on that SM7B, bro. Which is tough. To fix that, you just have to do some compression and some EQs in order to fix that, so it isn't as potent. Wait, do I have any effects on my Universal Audio? Do I have any effects? Because that might mess with the way you guys are hearing it and the way I'm hearing it. Nope, I have no effects. I have zero effects whatsoever. All right, so let me play this. And let me put some effects on.
Or I die. My life is to magnify Christ.
Right.
So even while I live, Christ be magnified. And if
it's like it's both wins for him, either or.
That's it.
Both wins for him.
So now you're going somewhere where hit me in a lesson. So he's saying that even in his death, he wants to magnify Christ, which he did. I mean, this man wrote more than half of the New Testament, and he was not readily accepted during his day because the things he wrote in the New Testament were against Judaism or the.
See what I'm saying? You can cut out a bit of those frequencies, so it isn't as strong in the lower frequencies, because SM7B is a dark mic. So anyone with a bassy, boomy voice, it might be a bit overbearing.
That he has called them.
So you can just cut out those frequencies, put a compressor, put an EQ. You're gonna be good.
The things that.
All right, this is good. This is good. This is good. I like the direction they're going. I'm going
If a donation makes sense for you right now, I'm asking you to pitch in to the Democratic Party's.
When someone died.
How you have that on? Anyways, I like the direction that they're going. I'm going to copy this pre-service announcements and pre-service show. I am going to copy this for the church that I am working with. No cap. I'm going to copy this.
Up. That's the righteous living when Christ out parents and children.
To your email. Pastor V. Yes. To join our family ministries team online at 5 p.m. for a special back, and we want you to know that a collegiate Sabbath school has been created just for you. We kicked off last semester and we're back again starting today, this Sabbath, and so we want you to let you what?
This sounds good. This sounds good. And they're using that Hollyland Lark, whatever. That small little Hollyland thing. I have this as well. I can't remember what the name of it. I don't use it that much. But this sounds good.
Let you know, during our Sabbath school in FLC room 107, we will be having a Sabbath school dedicated just for you with Pat and Pamela Webb.
Wonderful biking. That's what Mike liked to do. Go and have a seat, but only for.
Okay, now these cameras. I know what cameras they have. They have Blackmagic cameras, and I think they have the B4 mount as well. They don't have cinema lenses. They have broadcast lenses. The biggest issue I have with these cameras, as well as the lenses, is that they aren't good on dynamic range whatsoever. Because if you look at this little girl's robe, which is white, and the light is shining on that, it's completely blown out. It looks like she's glowing. You see a little fringing right here around the neck as well. Like these cameras and lenses, I don't like for live streaming because the look of it looks very old and dated.
A little bit. Another thing Mike liked to do, Mike liked to go to church. Yes, and
as you see, look at the skin tones. His skin tone is very washed. It's very washed. It isn't as dark and vibrant and rich. But this is a black man. This is a black man, and it looks grayish. It looks more of on the grayer side, but
go to church, Mike. And the other
the broadcast, bro, the broadcast lenses, the broadcast cameras and the lenses, they don't do a good job at rendering our skin tones very well. Probably as well the lights inside of this church, they're probably on the daytime setting. They're more cooler. So that doesn't help either. Because again, we're darker. Darker skin tones need warmer lights.
In the congregation would stand up sometimes. Let's stand up. Yes, yes.
Jesus died for our sins.
Amen.
It's clear though. It's crisp.
All right, because Jesus.
What are they 4K? No, they're HD. Very nice.
Died for our sins. Well, listen, guys. When Mike was
and his courts with praise, and be thankful unto him and bless his name.
Look at that big old camera right there, bro. It's a massive jib. That's goals. Massive jib. Okay, we got two. Look at these joints, bro. These are dinosaurs. They're very expensive. Very expensive. You cannot go handheld with these cameras, bro. You're going to need like an easy rig. You're going to need more than an easy rig. This is probably like 25 pounds worth of camera and lens right there. And it's not ergonomic. You cannot go handheld with these cameras, bro. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to. This is not a goal. Look at her. Look at her skin tone. You see, a lot of the black people, darker skin tones, it's very washed. It's very washed, but it's not because they don't have enough lighting in there. I know they have more than enough lighting in there. It's just the cameras. The cameras don't have great dynamic range whatsoever. At all. For a fraction of the cost of this camera and lens, you can get something that is 2-3 times better. Even with the newer Blackmagics, the Pixis, and you just get a nice cinema lens, this is gonna look way better. Way better. And as you see, if you look at the background, it's completely blown out. Also, the thing about these cameras, when it comes to exposing them, you have to expose for the skin. You can't really expose for the background, because if you do, you're gonna have to crank the lights up in the venue, like, because they aren't good at dynamic range. That's just how it is.
For the Lord.
They look very blue. Very blue. So their white balance got to be in like the 6,000s. Okay, this looks fine now. So what? Why is it? I don't know, bro. I don't know. You see, this is the same thing I was talking about earlier in the video. Chains Church. You see, Chains Church, they have more control over the light. They have more. I think they have more control over the light, because they might be they're not using these same broadcast cameras. They're using more of a cinematic camera, like I don't know. But the whole point is, if you look at her skin tone, and if you look at his skin tone, his is a bit more blown out because the color is more set to her skin tone and the exposure. So when you have these type of cameras that aren't good at dynamic range, if you set it to one person, the other is going to be kind of blown out. Now, if you set it to him, she's going to look a little bit pasty. So yeah, that's the problem that I have with these cameras. And they're just too expensive. But if you want the broadcast look, knock yourself out. Try to get the cameras used and the lenses, because buying it new, you're going to be spending like $300,000, which is nuts. Nuts. I would not. No way. See, he is too pasty. No, he is too washed out. Way too washed out. So he has like a blue light, a more bluer light daytime on his skin. Just hit his skin. Or they don't have good control of their lighting. So that's why certain angles, it looks nice, and then certain angles, everything looks washed out. Controlling the, like you see right here, is more natural in this angle. But if you look at the background, they look a bit more orange. And in the crowd, they look completely blue. They don't have control over the light. But it is clear, though. The clarity is on 10 when it comes to this church. Transitions, again, are more 90s, mid 90s, late 90s. Is what it is. But overall, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. It's just me nitpicking because I more prefer the cinematic approach. At the end, I will show you something that I helped to produce. A live stream for a church that I helped produce to give you more of an idea of what I like. All right, this is another church. This look cool. That's cool. All right. So this church, they're not using broadcast cameras. They're using mirrorless cameras. Now, mirrorless cameras step up from broadcast cameras, personally, if you ask me. The issue with mirrorless cameras, though, is that their dynamic range suffer as well, depending on the mirrorless camera. Depending on that mirrorless camera, because if you look at the speakers in the black, it's completely black. The speakers in the back, they're completely black. The shadows are crushed, completely crushed. But his skin tone doesn't look pasty. It doesn't look overly washed out. Well, it doesn't look washed out. It just looks digital, very digital. But that's what you get with mirrorless cameras. It still looks decent though. As you see, his skin tones dark. He has a darker skin tone, and you can tell it has more life in it. Ooh, I like that. I like the graphic though. We got the animations. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. As you can see right here, you can see where the mirrorless cameras are struggling. You look at her hair, you look at the background, it's completely black. The blacks are 100% crushed. You can fix this with lighting. Me personally, I would get a cinema camera. Cinema cameras have more dynamic range. It will pick up those shadows a bit better, and get a cinema lens. So the difference between a cinema lens and a photo lens. Photo lenses are f-stops. Cinema lenses are t-stops. F-stops is how much light goes into the glass. That's how it measures the f-stop. A t-stop is how much light is passing through to the sensor. It might sound similar, but it's not. So a T1.5 will let in more light than an f1.5. So that's why cinema glass is much better. Now, the downside about cinema glass is that it's all manual. But with a whole bunch of technology that's coming out and AI and etc., they're trying to make it with that you use attachments to make it more automatic. So that's going to help a lot of like beginners or intermediate, or even things like this, like sit downs or whatnot. It's going to make this a bit more easier. But when it comes to being in the live stream and racking focus and etc., I'm manual all the way. The reason being is because I don't want any type of hunting going on. Whatever I rack focus on, that's what I want the viewer to concentrate on. So with the focus hunting and the jumping, it can be very, very distracting. So yes. So maybe this lens, I don't know what they're using, but I do know they're using mirrorless cameras.
Just for Christ. And it says in Philippians 1 verse 6, trust in God and his promises.
Now we're going to scrub it. Gonna go a bit faster. I think this is 4K
Are we
as
willing
well.
to deny ourselves for Jesus?
Yes. I just want to make a quick point.
Yep, it's 4K.
As you know, just to piggyback on Tuesdays, it's
This church is streaming in 4K, bro.
Yes, and I like this point you make, sister. Let me just
Let's go. Let's fast forward.
What lesson can we draw from the experience of Paul? That he was the vilest of
the living God. Fall
So this is full service now?
on us. Come now with all of heaven's celestials. Touch now these grounds, that there will be holy grounds.
I don't even know what type of hair she has.
Upon every individual standing in your presence. Unburden us today.
I like her skin tone though.
Pray. And
This is normal skin tone. Might be a little red, but you can always fix that with a LUT.
See you exalted. Glory.
I want to emphasize gently
I like her
used
skin tone.
items to swap
This is
with one
normal.
another, including clothing, shoes, household items, health and beauty products, and other useful items that you would like to pass along. This will be a relaxed and joyful time.
This is some of the other stuff that you get with mirrorless cameras. Mirrorless cameras don't give you the controls of cinema cameras. Like for instance, as you see that flicker in the back, the flicker is due to the LED wall, the refresh rate of the LED wall. Now, you can fix this with cinema cameras by changing the shutter angle. I know with mirrorless cameras, you have shutter speed. I don't take no pictures, so I'm not really familiar. I can't really remember. I don't take pictures. I do strictly video. So shutter angle, you can change the shutter angle to something like 144 degrees, and that usually fixes the flickering of the LED wall in the back. Sometimes 172 does it, but you have to play around with it. And it also depends on the camera, because what I've learned with some cinema cameras, all the readings aren't accurate. All of the readings are not accurate. So a camera, for instance, might say it is at 144 degree shutter angle, but it's probably off by a few degrees. So you just have to play with it. And the cool thing about the shutter angle is that you don't have to do any math. So for instance, if you have like a mirrorless camera and you have like 24 frames per second, you're going to have to set the shutter angle to double that, 148. Most mirrorless cameras don't do 148, so you have to do like 1/50, something like that. If you do 30 frames per second, you're gonna have to put it to 160, the shutter speed. But with cinema cameras, if you set the shutter angle to 180, it automatically adjusts itself. So whatever frame rate you put it to, 24, 30, 60, I don't advise streaming in 60 frames a second. It looks very unnatural. 30 is the most. 24, if you know, you know, but 30 frames max. So whatever you set it to, the shutter angle is going to set that automatically, so you don't got to worry about any of that. Setting it to 144 using reds. Setting it to 144 fixes that flickering in the background. And as well, reds are global shutters. But not to say that rolling shutter can't do it, but you're going to have to get like a really, really top tier rolling shutter camera. Something like a Sony Burano or Sony Venice. But who has the budget for Sony Buranos and Sony Venices? Who has the budget for those? Who? You shouldn't be watching this video. You should be teaching me something, because your infrastructure to handle those type of cameras is insane, because more than likely you're not using a LUT. You're using some sort of coloring tool to color live. So you're more than likely sending the log to control, and control is coloring it live. So you shouldn't be watching this video.
But my son said something to me this morning.
Let's see, he's light. He has a lighter skin tone, so it's handling it much better than the broadcast cameras, though. It is being handled a bit better, because you see these are 3 different skin tones right here. This is lighter, a little darker, and this is brown. So the camera is handling the skin tones much better. I would still change the white balance a little bit warmer.
But as I was getting ready to leave,
but
my 3-year-old son, what he said to
that's me. Let me see crowd shots. Nope, that's a copyright sound.
I just wonder, even as we've been in this fast, now the Holy Spirit has been touching many of our lives and hearts. Some of us may be doing this fast, have not even totally surrendered.
Nope. Yes, sir. Pan. I mean, move it. Yep. Pan to. I like those shots. I like those all day. You start with the fingers and then you pan up. Yes, sir. That's handheld right there. Yup, you in the crowd. Yes, sir. They're doing a lot of things right at this church. They're doing a lot of things right. Different perspective. I wouldn't be so close though. Try not to be so close, because you're going to start to show defects in people's skin and etc. that and no one likes to see. No one likes to see that. Be a bit back. Go further back and not be too close. Like, this is a close shot of me right now. Chest up. That's the closest you should be to people. You shouldn't be closer. Oh, did I go too fast? They were doing something. They were panning. That's a mid shot, waist up. I guess I missed it. You see this right here? I love this. As you see, the light is on the crowd and the audience is dark, so you just see the silhouette of the audience. I love that. I love that. That shows that you have more control over the light. And you can focus the person at home watching. You can direct their eyes. Yeah, that's what it is. You can direct their eyes more better when you have better control over the light. That's nice. All right, cool. Crowd shots, yes, sir. I like the crowd shots. This church is doing a lot of things right. Like I said, the only thing they would probably have to change is probably get more lights. Change the color of the lights. You see, like the background is blown out. Different cameras. Definitely different cameras. Get cameras that have better dynamic range. And this is going to elevate the look of this church a lot. A lot. Because you're going to be able to have more control over the lights and the darks, or the camera is going to pick up the lights and the darks differently. And I've been saying dynamic range for the longest time on this live stream. What dynamic range is, like how much the camera picks up between the lights and the darks. As you see, this camera doesn't do very well in the darks, and it can't pick up that much in the brightest of the brights either. So right here is underexposed by her hair, and over by the windows is overexposed. So how would you offset this? I would expose for the whitest part, or the brightest part. What am I saying? I would expose for the brightest part and then use lights to bring up the shadows. If you cannot do that, if you can't do that, if your lights aren't powerful enough in the church, control these window lights, because these will be the things that you can't control, because the sun moves and etc. If it's a cloudy day, this probably will look better. So I would control these. So if you're shooting in the crowd, I would probably get like NDs on the glass or whatever, or have like shades that go up and down. So when it's time to sing and, you know, people are doing crowd shots, you get some shades that come down, and this shot will look much better. I'll get these lights that are, the stage lights will be a bit warmer as well, you know, because we dark people. We have a darker skin tone, you know? So in order to show that, we got to get warmer colors. All right, boom. How much more? I don't think I'm gonna be able to go through all of these. All right, I think if I get like reviews and whatnot, if I get some comments saying that you guys want me to continue this, then I will. You guys would be able to, you guys can even send me videos of your church as well, and I can give you some points. And if it's great, I can learn from you for sure. We all learning here. All right, so this is something that I produce. This is live stream. This is 1080p, and they're using the reds. Now, some of these lights that are in the church, you can't change the color, so it is what it is. They're daytime. You can't change the color whatsoever. So, yeah. Well, as you see, probably we'll mute this because some of those songs, I don't know if they're copyright friendly. Yeah, so some of these lights are hidden, makes them look a bit washed out. You can't control those lights. Boom. I don't know what these guys were doing. But as you see, you look at the skin tones, you look in the crowd. This is one of the biggest reasons for getting a cinema camera. The blacks aren't crush like that, and the highlights aren't like completely blown out. So with cinema cameras, you get a way more dynamic range, and people look more like people. And this is, dude, this in the crowd was completely dark, and it had nothing but orange light shining on them, and it still renders skin tones pretty well. You see, you get different moving shots. Inside of the drum cage, it has no lights, but with a proper lens and a cinema camera with a good enough dynamic range, it does well. It does well. All right, let's see if we got any moving shots. We got lower thirds, very fancy. We got different angles, as you see, and all of this can be fixed as well with using a LUT. You know, you can curate a LUT to make it look however you want it to look. Yes, sir. The only thing I would change is the color to make it a bit more warmer, so their skin tones can pop. Because that white light. Wait, I think I spoke with the lighting person. I think I spoke with the lighting person to change the light, the color of it. But as you see, doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. Different angles. Interviews. And that stage was dark. That stage was dark. It wasn't a lot of light on that stage at all. And as you see, you can still see the difference between some of the people, well, the people on stage and the background. Boom. I'm just running through this. Crowd is decent. This was done at 24 frames per second, and this is 1080p. So just imagine if this was 4K, it would have more detail. It would have way more detail. Look at the skin tones with orange light hitting them. Look at the skin tones. Like, the people look more real. These skin tones I didn't really like too much but the composition in X-Era, A1. A1. And I have to train some more people about different. Oh, that's good. That's good that you call her getting up. That's good. Sticking with her. That's lovely. Rack and focus. Da 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 da. Silhouettes. Rack focus. Yes, sir. Okay. Go ahead, y'all. I forgot about this. It's like a year ago. All right. Boom. I think you guys get the point. So, as you see, it's a different feeling, or it's definitely a different feeling. It's a different feeling versus some of the other churches that we watched with the broadcast look and the fancy jibs and etc. I'm not saying that the jib is bad. I would love a jib. It just has to fit inside. The whole thing that we were going for with this live stream was to make the audience that's at home feel that they're in the sanctuary. And with some of the shots, you can achieve that and with the camera as well and the lens, because it doesn't look too digital. The blacks aren't crushed like that, and the highlights are blown out. So if you get the right balance of everything, the only thing I would change with that is the color. I would change like the color grade of it and the lighting. But when you go certain places, if you don't bring your own lighting, you have to use the lights that they have there. And as you see, this camera, these Komodos, they held up pretty well in the shadows. So that's why I recommend them. And they do justice to our skin tones, to our darker skin tones. They do justice. Yeah. So that is it. It was a long time. How much? I've been streaming, 1 hour and 25 minutes. All right. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. If you want a part 2 with this, let me know. And you can send me videos or your live stream of your churches to my email, and I can do a part 2 of this, So I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace.
Thank you.